you must have been definitely a different child from rest of your friends, because you chose not a different path, but you chose something at a very early stage. Was it your own choice, a conscious choice to become an entrepreneur at a very young age, or was it because of circumstances that made you like that? What was it?
I feel like it was both in a way, because I have kind of always been raised in entrepreneurial his surroundings. My daddy was working at a what was it, a newspaper? Yeah, newspaper place, newspaper publication as a graphic designer. And then the entire graphic design department, everybody got laid off. And so he had to quickly either find a new job or with my mommy just come up with a new business and take a leap of faith and say, okay, let's do this. So ever since I was around 6 or so years old, when my parents would be doing this, they got me involved. I got involved. I was excited to be involved, and I would go to mixers, chamber mixer events, and meet people and give them our spiel and all that kind of stuff. So I've always been in the entrepreneurship world. So I suppose that has to do with circumstances, and of course my parents and their wonderful support. I think that for me to become an entrepreneur, that was much more of a conscious choice.
And how does your friend circle look like? I'm sure you are a misfit among your group of friends, right? Or do you gel up with everybody? What kind of things did you talk to your friends when you meet up on the weekends?
That's a really good question. My best friends are my parents. They're my best friends. I kind of just get along with everybody. It doesn't really matter their age. If they're younger, my parents used to tell people that I can connect with both people my age, with business professionals, and the little tiny kids at the train station in Barnes and Noble, like really anybody, just because I'm homeschooled. So that's kind of, I'm always used to talking to different kinds of people, not just people my age. But yeah, I don't really have a friend circle. It is important to have those consciously that are influencing you, because that's very important to know who you have around you. But I try to be very careful as to who are in my circle of acquaintances, because influence is a real thing, and you can be positively or negatively influenced by those around you. So,
and what makes you different from your friends? I mean, let's talk about strength. What are your strengths that makes you different from your rest of your friends?
I think that is a really hard question, because everybody has their individual strengths, and I'm sure that some of my strengths, I probably have a few acquaintances who have the same ones, and I have a few acquaintances who have different ones. So I couldn't really say this sets me apart from every other acquaintance and friend I know. But I definitely think that, any of the qualities I have that my parents gave me as a young child, to just be a good person to people, because that's always what's important, being kind to people, being thoughtful, listening to people, actually listening to them. I guess I could say one of my best.
What do you mean by actually listening? What is the difference between listening and actually listening?
By actually listening, exactly. It's by when you're having a conversation to somebody, and instead of just letting them talk, okay, but I want to make my next point. It's instead of just waiting just so you can say the next thing, it's actually listening to what they're saying and really focusing on it and putting your attentions, like all your attention that goes everywhere, putting it on the other person.
What motivates you? You are a motivational speaker. You motivate other people, other young entrepreneurs. What is your source of motivation?
Definitely. A lot of different things. I try to make the world my motivation, while at the same time, if I can't find motivation around, then I just make it. I glean motivation from everything, from my parents mainly, because they're incredible, from different people who are making it work, who are rocking it and making it succeed. Other kid entrepreneurs, they inspire me all the time, because I see them succeeding and I'm like, wow, that's great, so why can't I, and that's kind of the message I want to spread to other kids as well, so kind of pass it on.
Okay, let's assume a situation. Let's say you go into the time machine and you meet yourself, a future version of you, probably 30 years of Arianna Fox. Then what is the quality, or what will inspire about that 30-year-old or 35-year-old Arianna Fox right now?
Only time will tell. I have no idea what I think my older self would be. Maybe have more patience, definitely more experience, and more of an a little bit more knowledge and wisdom, because that's kind of how everybody ages anyway. You know, when you're a teenager, you can have some fantastic, phenomenal qualities, but you won't have nearly enough experience as you will when you're older. And for some people, that's like, oh man. And other people, it's like, okay, you know, I'll get the experience as I go along in life, you know.
Okay, Ariane, it was great talking to you. And I wish I was like you and I was at your age, honestly. Thank you very much.